Happening now, a local student faces felony charges after police accuse them of lodging a terroristic threat against SUNY Fredonia. And early voting is expected to see record numbers here in Chautauqua County, plus a look at Jamestown's effort to make broadband a utility.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now. This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
A student at SUNY Fredonia is facing felony charges after allegedly making a terroristic threat online. The campus police department investigated a social media post about Thompson Hall on Wednesday. While they found no credible threat at the time, they have filed charges in connection to this incident. The student's name was not released. However, police said they were charged with a Class D felony. Due to New York State's bail reform law, the suspect was released with an appearance ticket. Because of the incident, they have been barred from returning to campus. If they were to come back to class, officers said they would be arrested. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Around 6,000 people are expected to cast their ballot early in Chautauqua County this year as part of early voting, which continues through Sunday. In total, around 50% of voters are expected to turn out to cast their ballot. However, with big races like the one for New York governor heating up, overall turnout could increase. The Chautauqua County Board of Elections reports that as of Friday morning, over 4,700 people voted early since the process kicked off last weekend. Furthermore, over 2,000 absentee ballots have returned, with around 1,000 still to be mailed or hand-delivered to an election site, drop box, or Board of Elections office. Early votes count the same as Election Day votes and generally take less than 10 minutes of your time. This fairly new way to cast your ballot now comes full circle for our local election leaders, Liz Torres and Brian Abram.
They've been pretty steady. People are, coming in and out at all of our poll sites, even here at the Board of Elections.
It's good numbers. We looked at the off years and they're low, and the presidential year was off the charts. And this is the first time for the gubernatorial year. So this is our benchmark, if you will.
Early voters can visit the Chautauqua County Fairgrounds, the Chautauqua Mall, the Robert H. Jackson Center, and Board of Elections office from Friday at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 5 to cast your ballot. Well, the first meeting of the Jamestown Broadband Commission took place last night as members and city officials look towards getting easy access to internet for those within city limits. Bronson Rasmussen joining us live now in the newsroom with more on this citywide internet plan. Bronson?
Justin, brainchild of Mayor Eddie Sundquist, the $25 million proposal would provide all within the city of Jamestown affordable and accessible internet.
Which may seem like a lot, but really only adds about $15 to $20 on your overall bill for internet service in a community like Jamestown. So we recognize it's a lot of money, it's a lot of upfront cost, but certainly has an incredible benefit.
A driving factor was the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced many school-aged children solely to remote education. But as Jamestown Public Schools Chief Information Officer Jesse Joy tells us, giving kids those devices sometimes wasn't enough.
3 out of 4 students live in a household that relies on financial assistance to pay the rent, to purchase groceries, just to make basic ends meet. So for those students, it's very difficult to have the extra resources to pay a $75 to $100 a month internet bill.
If the municipality adopts a plan, it would provide residents and businesses with a fixed cost for internet use. Out of all the options on the table, the mayor prefers an open access network.
The city does what it does best, which is making infrastructure, running wires, making sure that the service is there, and then allowing ISPs, those internet service providers, to be able to compete on a marketplace and provide that end service as well as customer service to each of our households.
In the end, officials feel internet service is an essential part of everyday life. just like water.
Internet access, broadband access, is as essential as electricity, as running water. So it is by and large a utility. We just don't have access to it as a utility.
So, what's next for the Broadband Committee? They have requested more information on internet access in the city. Meanwhile, Mayor Sundquist will get a hold of other municipalities that have already adopted citywide broadband. Live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
Bronson, thank you. A local, state, and federal joint narcotics investigation into a Western New York drug ring dubbed Operation Big 8 Narco has resulted in the arrest of 14 people and seizure of large amounts of cocaine and fentanyl. New York's Attorney General Letitia James made the announcement, where she stressed curbing violent crime is a top priority. According to the indictment, the drug ring trafficked more than $250,000 worth of cocaine and thousands of fentanyl pills disguised as Oxycontin throughout the region. The indictment charges 14 individuals with various crimes related to their alleged involvement in the narcotics trafficking operation, including operating as a major trafficker, various counts of criminal sale and criminal possession of a controlled substance, and conspiracy in the second degree. All of these charges felonies. Well, with the holiday season fast approaching, New York's Consumer Protection Division has announced a 5-part consumer alert series to help New Yorkers. Consumers will get tips on charity scams, credit cards, gift cards, refunds, returns, and warranties. In the first consumer alert, the agency focused on how to shop safely online. The tips include not to rush when buying things, reading and reviewing what you're going to purchase, and be sure to go to trusted sites you're familiar with. A red flag is to look for a one-sided review with really no specific details. Well, come Saturday, our new congressional representative here in Western New York will be hosting a town hall meeting with constituents. This just days ahead of the midterm election. On Saturday at 8 a.m., Congressman Joe Sempolenski will hear from residents at the Town of Carroll Town Hall. That's at 5 West Main Street in Frewsburg. While Sempolenski will be in office for only a little while until a new Congress is elected and then sworn in, he says it's important to highlight what's on the minds of those across the 23rd Congressional District. The Republican previously won a special election to fill Tom Reed's seat after Reed left office months ago for a job in the private sector. Well, now let's switch gears and get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us with that today. And Dakota, really, if you didn't look at the calendar, you think it would be like early spring, cool summer day out there.
Yes, I mean, Mother Nature does not care what the seasons are, what the month is. She does not care. I mean, it is unseasonably warm, and we're going to continue that through the next couple of days. The Findlay Lake sky cam showing you just a few of those clouds from time to time. We call this mostly sunny, and you can even see it on the satellite and radar composite. It's running, but nothing is showing up. So basically, it's wall-to-wall sunshine today, so enjoy it while we've got it. 65 was the high yesterday, started the day at 48, 79, and 18 are the records. So through the afternoon today, mostly sunny skies. We're going to stay warm. Temperatures will range from 66 on the hills to 72 across the lower elevations, and it will be breezy with that south wind averaging 10 to 20 miles an hour. Now, tomorrow we could be pushing records in spots as we get some rain showers in for the second half of the weekend. We'll talk about it with the Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-Day later in the show, Justin.
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in just a bit. As we continue, we're taking a look at more election coverage, diving into the race for New York's governor. And later, why health leaders say alcohol-related deaths are on the rise. We'll look at that when we come back.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Looking for a fair and honest auto mechanic? Look no further than DeWyas Auto Service. Located at 140 Main Street in Randolph, our family-owned business is ready for all of your automotive needs. From general service to more complex repairs, count on DeWyas Auto to keep you on the road. We not only keep your cars running smoothly, but also looking great with our expert detailing crew. Send us a message on Facebook or call us today at 716-358-2292 to set up an appointment. DeWyas Auto Service. Fair, honest, and the best prices guaranteed.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The candidates vying for your vote in New York's gubernatorial race are rallying their supporters as Election Day creeps closer. Vice President Kamala Harris made an announcement at a Manhattan campaign rally in support of Governor Kathy Hochul on Thursday, emphasizing the duality of democracies. Sharing the Bernard College stage with former New York Senator Hillary Clinton, Harris is joining other high-profile Democrats in driving voters to support their ticket. Experts are saying that some Democrats are having growing fears that next week's midterm elections may deliver a wave of Republican victories across the country. Meanwhile, Lee Zeldin, the GOP candidate for New York governor, is also on the campaign trail, hosting a Save Our State rally on Thursday as well. He addressed the need for balance in government and how he wants to work with both sides to find solutions in fighting crime here in New York.
And I'll say it's the will of the people having spoken on Tuesday by saying that they want to see us get tough on crime and take care of this stuff. Plan A is to work with the state legislature to make these changes on these pro-criminal laws. The only reason why we would have to declare a crime state emergency and suspend these laws is because they don't want to work with us. By doing this, it forces them to the table, and that's really most important, is that they come to the table.
Well, New York has more than twice as many registered Democrats than Republicans and has not voted for a Republican governor since George Pataki won a third term in 2002. But Democrats, they're facing national headwinds in this year's midterm elections as the party in power, which typically bears the brunt of many frustrations. Well, continuing our election coverage, we're taking a look at election security. Our New York Capital correspondent Elise Klein spoke to New York State's Board of Elections about what election security looks like in the voting process.
As Election Day gets closer, the New York State Board of Elections emphasized that voters should feel confident in the voting process. John Conklin, Director of Public Information for the New York State Board of Elections, said there is a checks and balances process, including election inspectors and audits.
I think New Yorkers should be very, very confident in the results of their elections and that they're accurate and transparent.
Conklin said none of the voting machines used in counties in New York State are connected to the internet, and this protects against any potential hacking by an outside source. All of the machines in New York were certified and tested federally and by the state, and once they are purchased by county boards, they are tested again locally before and after the election. Conklin added the voting machines also have what are called tamper evidence seals that are located on the machines. They look like padlocks, and they essentially help indicate if there has been any interference or tampering. In addition to voting machine testing and security, Conklin highlighted that local county board of elections are required to assign trained poll workers and election inspectors to election districts.
But they're absolutely essential to the process. They're the ones that run the elections for us.
Following Election Day, local county boards of elections across New York State are required to participate in what is called a 3% random audit, where 3% of the machines that are used are tested randomly and documented. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Elise, thank you. Meanwhile, the Democratic nominee for Pennsylvania governor and lieutenant governor were in Harrisburg, rallying supporters to get out the vote. Attorney General Josh Shapiro and State Representative Austin Davis spoke to hundreds of supporters about their priorities and vision for the Commonwealth. Both candidates are no stranger to the state capitol. Davis currently serves as a state rep and Shapiro the state's attorney general, and also served in the assembly for several years. Their Republican opponents are also currently in the state legislature, too. Doug Mastriano as a state senator and Carrie Lewis as a state representative.
Because together, I know we can write this next chapter in the Pennsylvania story.
The two Democrats argue they're more in touch with the majority of Pennsylvanians than their Republican challenger and that they have what it takes to lead the Commonwealth. Well, let's get some headlines from around the nation now. And deaths caused by alcohol use during the pandemic has spiked. That's according to data published today by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC found alcohol-included deaths jumped 26% between 2019 and 2020, killing more than 49,000 people. Alcohol liver disease was the underlying cause of more of those deaths. In 2020, it followed mental health behavior disorders and use of alcohol as part of this research. The analysis did not include deaths where alcohol was used and directly contributed, but was not the only factor here. Well, the 8 Ohio police officers under investigation for the fatal shooting of a 25-year-old man have now been reinstated and are back to work. Akron Police Chief Steve Milet says he knows this decision will come as concern for some, but added that staffing issues led to them having to return to the job. The officers are being investigated, have not been identified publicly. They're involved in an incident this June where Jalen Walker was fatally shot while trying to flee from a traffic stop. An autopsy showed that Walker had nearly 50 gunshot wounds in this incident. Walker's family has written a letter to the chief saying that they're disappointed with the decision. The state's Attorney General's Bureau of Investigation is also looking into the matter. Well, coming up next, we meet a new furry friend that's up for adoption in our Pet of the Week segment. And later, the holiday season is kicking off this weekend in Falconer. A look at the effort to help send some Christmas joy to our brave servicemen and women. But first, when we return, we take a full look at our weather forecast and this really spring, almost summer-like weather we're seeing.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for two great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
15-year-old Yadiel Diaz was subject to a public humiliation stunt by a fellow student in an act of violence and bullying. Now Yadiel's mother, Raquel, has had enough.
Officials are trying to work with the county's homeless coalition to help support the homeless population locally. There are also plans in the works to build 2 new shelters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
To help you.
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real.
Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
When severe weather breaks, one team has you covered, tracking the storms as they happen. Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and every day. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back, everybody. Wanted to start off with another picture from Don. You can see, and I believe this is actually some fog he was able to capture as well. So, and we had some of that low-lying fog over the past couple of days. It's all gone now. So, thanks to Don for setting that in. If you have any pictures or videos of the weather, Hunters WX on Twitter, the First Defense Weather page on Facebook, and use the hashtag MyLocalWX. Section 6 semifinals comes up tonight at Strider Field, Jamestown versus Kenmore West. These are two strong teams here, 7-2 win-loss record, and tickets, again, are going to be sold online at $7. Plus, we also heard that they're also going to be selling them at the door tonight for $10. So a little bit of a price difference there. That's Section 6 thing. The school has nothing to do with that. 61 degrees at 7 o'clock, 57 at halftime, 56 by the fourth quarter. So no weather hassles, no jackets, no umbrellas. It'll be a nice night for football, and hopefully the Raiders will get another win and advance to the final. 62 degrees as of noon hour, a southwest wind of 12. It's breezy with a wind gust of 17. Dew point down to 46, so the air is still relatively dry, and it is just a fantastic Friday out there. The next weather maker really is going to be warm air surging in for tomorrow. Take a look at these forecast highs tomorrow versus the records. Now, as we go to the city of Buffalo tomorrow, they will likely tie their record high, 76, set back in 1948. Erie's going to get close. 74 is the forecast high. 77 is the record. 74 in Dunkirk could tie that. Here in Jamestown, we're forecasting 71. The record is 78, set back in 2003. So we likely are not going to break a record tomorrow, but it's going to be warm no matter what. And also, don't forget, as you head to bed on Saturday night, don't forget to turn those clocks back 1 hour. 6:56 will be the sunrise time on Sunday morning. 5:05 the sunset time. And don't forget, check and replace the batteries in your smoke detector and your NOAA weather radio. We talk about it all the time. Like a smoke detector, you need to have a NOAA weather radio. It'll keep you safe during severe weather. Also on Tuesday, along with being election day, we have a total lunar eclipse coming up in the morning. So if you're an early riser, see if you can see the total lunar eclipse. The real show is really going to start right around 5 in the morning. That's when the total lunar eclipse is going to start. This is Tuesday morning, and man, we've just got lots of stuff in the weather department. So high pressure still in control across the Northeast. That's keeping us dry. This is going to arrive over the second half of the weekend. So let's show it to you on Future Scan. Look at this. The time is moving, but the weather really ain't changing. Lots of sunshine, a few clouds from time to time. Now, we are going to mix in more clouds through the overnight, so we'll call tonight partly to mostly cloudy on average. But tomorrow, the clouds increase tomorrow, but I do think even with the cloud cover, with a warm southerly wind, that should push our temperatures near 70 or just a little above 70 for tomorrow. And again, if you get up close to Buffalo, they'll likely tie their record high. This is right around midnight. We're going to see a line of showers and maybe a couple rumbles of thunder moving on in for Sunday, and then that's going to continue in pockets for Sunday afternoon. So the next 7 days powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions. So after Sunday, we dry out and temperatures still remain, Justin, above average.
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Well, in an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society. Joining us live in studio today is Allie Perrin to talk more about this week's featured furry friend, Bella. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you for having us. So this is Bella. She's a 3-year-old beagle. She hasn't been with us too long at the shelter. She was surrendered to us because the family couldn't take care of her anymore. So she came to us. She's a sweet, loving girl. She just wants to cuddle up on your lap. She does have a bit of energy, so she does love to play ball, run around the house, those types of things. But, you know, she's just wanting a cuddle friend.
Yeah,
that's really what she wants.
She is so happy, if you can't tell by her tail. And she just, she came up with me a little bit during the weather segment, and she just loves to be pet and loves to be energized. And
oh, yeah.
It's always, whenever we see, she's wondering now because she sees herself on the monitor.
Yes.
That's what always happens. They're like,
yes.
Who is that beautiful dog?
And she is very dog friendly.
Yeah.
So she, she's been in a couple play groups and she's done very well.
Yeah.
Every dog she meets, she wants to be friends with. If you guys were interested in her, you can definitely fill out an application online. We would recommend, if you do have a dog at home, to do a dog meet and greet, which we can facilitate for you guys.
And you said dog friendly good. Do you know about the cats?
She's been okay. She's walked past a couple of cats and she's been all right. It's a hit or miss. I mean, beagles tend to have a more of a prey drive,
Right.
but she's been okay walking past them. We would just recommend a slow introduction to them at home.
Absolutely, and maybe having a dog-savvy cat.
Right, definitely. Maybe not one that's terrified of dogs.
And you mentioned she is high energy. I know beagles will love to run, be out in the wilderness. And when it comes to family elements, adopting a dog is a big responsibility, but it could be a big benefit too to try to get your kids outside, get active.
Yeah, definitely. And I think she would be perfectly fine with some kids. I think she would actually really enjoy it because she's sweet, she's gentle. She does jump up a little bit, but it's not anything that can't be worked on.
No. And even when she does jump up, she's very calm about it. And she's very sweet. Yes, you are
She's just trying to get some more attention.
She's like, do you have any snacks? I hear there are snacks somewhere.
She is very snack motivated. She loves her hot dogs. And now we're going underneath.
And, just go underneath. I think it was last week we lost a cat, I believe. Underneath the news desk here. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. In fact, she was still hanging out underneath there during our next segment.
She got comfortable.
Ryan had to hang around. He's like, I can't go anywhere. Well, thank you so much, Allie, for coming in. I really appreciate bringing in Bella. And again, if you want to learn more about this beautiful dog, just head on over to chqhumane.org. Well, coming up next here, how you can help a group of local mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters send a piece of home for the holidays to our deployed troops overseas.
WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
An issue for the agriculture community and some GOP lawmakers is the new financial burden.
The DA telling me he's received 30,000 files alone from New York State Police in the form of things like PDF files, Excel sheets, and video evidence.
Once those 4 graduate from the academy, it will leave the city of Jamestown with 60 firefighters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Walking from Jamestown to Orchard Park is a long trek, but when rallying for a good cause, anything is possible. I'm Patrick Smeraldo, and I need your help to get there. Starting on November 11th, I'm walking over 60 miles to the Buffalo Bills Stadium, raising money for 2 great causes: Harrison's Playmakers and foster care in Chautauqua County. Harrison's Playmakers is a non-profit launched by former Buffalo Bills defensive tackle Harrison Phillips to connect kids with disabilities in sports. Furthermore, donations for this 3-day hike will also benefit CASA of Chautauqua County and the Stone family, who are assisting local foster care children during National Adoption Month. Learn more about my journey and to donate at ccsolutions716.com.
Welcome back. This year, our local Blue Star mothers, they're collaborating with the Falconer Rotary Club to collect donations ahead of their annual military Christmas care package drive. As part, holding a pancake and waffle breakfast this weekend. As Alyssa Wright reports, this yearly tradition is a way for the community to come together to show their love and support for those deployed.
I'm amazed right now by all the community support we've been getting and people contacting us and wanting to support, and we've kind of become the beginning of our Christmas season for our community, and that just means so much to me.
This event has been going on for nearly 2 decades now.
We collect donations from our amazing patriotic community. Every year we've been doing this since 2006, actually.
While items such as canned goods, snacks, and toiletries are needed for donations, a sentimental donation is also appreciated.
Cards and letters are so important. So if, I've often asked people, when you're sitting around your Thanksgiving table, put a Christmas or card or thank you card by each place setting. And they are the last thing we put in the box, and they're the first thing that they see when they open the box.
Donations of any kind are more than welcome.
We'd like to have them bring the donations to us at 3 C's, the Falcon's Nest, and also we'll take cash donations as well. We also will have the 50-50 drawing, and any cash raised will go to the Blue Star Moms, but we really would like the donations, and we do have a list of things that are needed, and we can provide that if anybody would like to see that.
If you have a child or a loved one that you have an address for who is deployed right now and will be gone from their family at Christmas, please send it to us.
Alyssa Wright, WNY News Now.
Alyssa, thank you very much. Again, it'll be Saturday at the Falcon's Nest starting at 7:30 in the morning, running until 10:30. For more information, head over to the Blue Star Mothers Facebook page. What an incredible cause. We'll be doing so much more with them as the Christmas season runs along. Well, that is it for our broadcast this week. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and in our live free mobile app. We'll leave you with this shot over Randolph's Wheaton Park. Have a great weekend.
WNY News Now is covering